Good morning. This is Louie, the Scottish Mountain Bear. And I am Dave. And this is another edition of Day Drinking with Dave. It's pretty early in the morning. It's a little bit after breakfast, which is not according to today's plan, because today's plan was to have some breakfast bourbon. But I got up early. I didn't want to, but I got up early, had my breakfast too early, and I didn't have any breakfast bourbon. So I'm inventing something new. I am having breakfast dessert bourbon. Breakfast dessert bourbon, because every meal deserves a dessert. Dinner, you get dessert. Lunch, you get a dessert. Breakfast, what's breakfast dessert? Like, oh, you could have some fruit. No, fruit is a staple. Fruit is something you need. Your body needs fruit, supposedly, right? Dessert is for the mind. It's for the mind. It makes you feel good. It's relaxing. It's soothing, right? You need dessert. Every meal should have a dessert. Right? It doesn't have to be ice cream every time. It doesn't. It doesn't have to be pie or cake or cupcakes, which are just muffins with frosting. It doesn't have to be those things. Unless you put funfetti batter, and you can't make a funfetti. You can't call a funfetti cupcake a muffin. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Unless you put blueberries in it. If it's a blueberry funfetti cupcake, you can call that a muffin. And you can have that for breakfast. That'd be okay. Because, we know what all was in cake. Eggs, flour, right? We all know that's good. But anyway, so I'm here this morning. The sun behind me over there-ish is rising. And I need a drink. All right, how can I pour it? Let's see. Can I do this one-handed and one like oh. Okay, I don't know what you think that was, but that was me opening a bottle of FJW, American whiskey. Okay, I lied. God, I lied. It's not breakfast bourbon, it's breakfast whiskey. It's breakfast whiskey. This is made by the Gia Distillery in the town of Madison, North Carolina. But before I tell you about it, let me tell you this other story. So in the town of Madison, I'm going to pour myself in. I joke. Every time people say, how much whiskey do you drink? I always say, I measure 3 fingers, and I measure it this way. It's not really true. But maybe this morning. Wait. Okay, that looks good. Does that look like a good pour? Right there? I can't tell. Does that look like a good pour? So this is FJW. It's American whiskey made here in Madison, North Carolina. But before I tell you that story, let me tell you this story. So in the town of Madison, there's a bunch of little historical buildings. One of the buildings is called Jordan Cabin. Jordan Cabin is this little cabin, I don't know, 1,100 square feet, that was built in the 1700s, and it's originally a log cabin, very well built log cabin that had clapboard put over it at some point in its career. And it's been around a long time. The town now owns it. It's a little historical site. It's got a plaque. They occasionally... Hold on a second. I know, I'm sitting here holding this thing. What the hell's wrong with me? I'm all out of sorts. I did not start today right. This was supposed to be earlier. Oh, it's delicious. And you notice I drink it neat. That is the correct way. If you put ice in good whiskey, you're wrong. That's my opinion, but I uphold to my opinion. Oh crap, hold on. Look, right there on the label, that's Jordan Cabin. Or a picture of it anyway, not the actual one. It's just a replica. You know how pictures work. So Jordan Cabin is this old cabin. Historical, been around since, had to be the 1700s or so, because they found a brick in the fireplace with the date 1799 on it. So you'd think it was made before or on 1799, right? But anyway, when I talk too much, I lose my breath because I'm not in shape unless Jell-O is a shape. Sorry, pinky out. So then what happens? This Gia Distillery opens in Madison, North Carolina, and they start making this whiskey. It's a Solera style whiskey. I'm sure you all know what that means, but just in case there's one of you that doesn't, I'll tell you. Solera style, it's like a vertical blending system. So they've got rows of whiskey barrels stacked vertically, and when they want to put some whiskey in a bottle, they take some whiskey out of the bottom barrels, blend that, put that in bottles. But then they take whiskey from the next barrel up, they move it down, and then the next barrel up and move it down, next barrel up and move it down. So they transfer all this whiskey down, blending it as it comes down, and then they put the new whiskey in the top barrel. So you get this blended, very smooth, very consistent aging process. Thank God, because honestly, the first batch that came out, when they made their first batch of whiskey, it was not very good. But now, it's delicious. Absolutely delicious. Oh, look, a shed. Should I get a hat that looks like a tree? No. Anyway, the sun's coming up back there. So, Gia comes along, and they make this Solera whiskey, and the first batch comes out, and they put it in bottles, and they label it, and they call it Jordan Cabin Whiskey, after this little Jordan cabin here in Madison, North Carolina. In fact, let me read the bottle. I don't have my glasses on. Oh, Madison's original cabin. That's what it says. I don't have my glasses on, but I think that's what it said. But it's made right here. It's delicious. Solera style, American whiskey. So Gia comes out with this bottle of whiskey, Jordan Cabin Whiskey. Jordan Winery gets mad and sues them with a cease and desist. Thou shalt stoppeth producing thine whiskey, calleth Jordan blah blah blah. Anyway, so Jordan's Winery tells Gia Distillery they can't make Jordan's Cabin Whiskey because it would be too confusing to the consumer. We would not be able to tell the difference between a whiskey and some crappy California wine. That's my opinion. I don't know if it is. I've never had it. But we would not be able to tell the difference between this whiskey and their wine. So, Gia, smart guys, they renamed the whiskey. It was Jordan's Cabin. Jordan Winery said stop, and now it's called FJW. Get it? Get it? You can figure it out. So, what do I think about this whiskey? I like this whiskey. This whiskey has become like my kind of like my everyday carry. My EDC whiskey. Why? Because it's a pretty good whiskey. It drinks fine just by itself. It blends fantastically in a whiskey sour. It does. And then the price is right. It used to be $31. I would tell everyone this is the best $31 bottle of whiskey you can buy. Yesterday I bought a bottle. 2 days I bought a bottle. This week I bought a bottle. And out the door with taxes it was $35. So it was probably like $33, and then taxes made it $35. Whatever. That's in North Carolina with their own taxing scheme. But it's a beautiful bottle. You know, here, let's look again. Let's adore it. You know, look, it's a square bottle. Look at that color. God, isn't that gorgeous? Right? It's got this label on the back which has words on it. You know, and then it has the Jordan Cabin on the front. It's a beautiful presentation. But Gia Distillery, it's right downtown Madison. And this is just good everyday drinking whiskey. Are you going to put it up against, I don't know. Are you going to put it up against like a $100 bottle of somebody else's? I don't think so, but I don't think you need to. It's good if it's just what it is. It's delicious. I drink too much. I drink it. I enjoy it responsibly. But, so here's what you do. Come to the town of Madison, all right? Small town, little downtown, East Murphy Street. Down one end is Gia Distillery. Come up a little ways, you get Southern Spirits. We can get they have a full bar, a full menu, get some food. Come up a little further, you got Wine Knox. It's a full wine bar and craft beer, and has this like dark little secluded feel. It's kind of cool. There's candles floating around the ceiling, like some movie about some dude with a lightning bolt burned into his forehead. God, why do people like that movie? I don't get it. Come up a little further, there's a brewery, which is undergoing a name change. And then go up around the corner a little bit. There's a wine shop where you can get like fancy wines that cost like $20. Ooh, that's too rich for my blood. But they get Madison Cork Supply. They get really nice wines and some craft beer and things in there. They have a little kegerator sort of thing. They always have something interesting on tap, right? And then very soon there's going to be a mead, M-E-A-D. That was confusing, probably caused by me. We thought it was going to be a meadery. So we're like, oh my God, we'll have like a deli and get sandwiches. And like, no, mead, honey wine, blah, 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 Viking's blood, that sort of thing. So that should be opening. But here's the deal. October 22nd is the Town of Madison Fall Festival. That's a Saturday. It's like, I don't know, a few days from now. The meadery is going to have a soft opening, so you can go check it out. I know I'm going to. There's going to be like arts and crafts people, but like real artisans, real craftsmen selling their wares. There's going to be food trucks. There's going to be bands. There's going to be like all kinds of stuff going on. October 22nd, 2022, down in Madison, North Carolina. Whiskey, beer, wine, mead. I think we've got all. Oh, Gia Distillery, they don't just make whiskey. No. Listen. Not only do they make whiskey, they make brandy, they make vodka, or as we like to say, wodka, and they make grappa. What's grappa, Dave? Louie, do you know what grappa is? Louie, tell him what grappa is. Tell them. Louie just don't care. Grappa is like, you take the remnants of winemaking and then you distill it and then you make this fire water. It's a great aperitif. It would make a good breakfast dessert. It would help settle the stomach. It's delicious. I've never had it before. It's the only place I've had it. I can say it's pretty damn delicious. But that first sip does burn so good. Just like heats you up going down. But anyway, so go check that place out. Check out Wine Knocks. Check out Southern Spirits. Check out the brewery. Check out the meadery. Check out Madison Wine and Cork. Stop at Johnson's, get some burgers. Stop at Bob's and get some brains and eggs, or tenderloins, your choice. It's a great thing. It's happening, coming up. It's going to be great. I got a lot of whiskey left to drink. What else can I talk about? I had this thought this morning. Sales tax. All right, let's say I go into your favorite realtor. Hold on. Make sure there's nobody listening. Let's say you go into your favorite realtor and you buy a jacket. Say like this canvas jacket with the, night watch flannel lining in there. You go, you buy a jacket, you pay for it, you pay a sales tax on it. But then you decide, I don't like this jacket. How dare they sell me something I don't like? And you take it back. They give you your money back and they give you back the sales tax you paid. Right? Like a return. Okay. Now let's say you buy a car. You know where I'm going? Buy a car, you pay sales tax on it. When you resell it, effectively giving it back to somebody, like whether it's back to the same dealership you bought it from, or giving it to somebody else and selling it, you don't get that sales tax back. Why not? Oh, because the jacket you didn't utilize, therefore you did not appreciate the value of the sales tax. In the car you utilized, therefore, assuming the value of the vehicle, paying the sales tax on it. When you resell it, well, when I resell it, the buyer has to pay sales tax on it again. If I used up the value, there should be no sales tax on it, but yet the buyer has to pay sales tax on it a second time. Doesn't that seem wrong? It just seems like, talk about double dipping. I mean, all the parts are taxed, all the transportation is taxed, all the fuel to transport it is all taxed. And anyway, it's way too early in the morning for a political rant. I apologize. We should just be drinking and enjoying the beverage. Did I tell you what I drank yesterday? I should have done a day drinking with Dave yesterday. I don't know why I didn't, because I was drinking tequila. Hornitos Black Barrel, like whiskey barrel aged tequila. Made some margaritas out of it in the morning. Shh, don't tell my wife. And it was delicious, but I gotta finish. Normally when I do this and I drink a beer, I chug the beer at the end of the session, but you don't chug whiskey. You just don't chug whiskey. This is a big party this weekend. It's gonna turn into an overnight party. Ooh, whiskey chills. It's gonna turn into an overnight party. I'm bringing some Elijah Craig Rye, some Angel's Envy. I used to not drink Angel's Envy because I'd look at that bottle and I'm like, it's such a girly bottle. Who would drink bourbon that looks like that? And then I went to this whiskey bar and they said, try this. And I said, I am converted. I love that bottle, that big curvy bottle with the angel's wings on the back. Angel's Envy, delicious. Angel's Envy Rye. Oh my gosh. Delicious. But right now, FJW. In the morning. Is the sun up yet? It's getting there. It's pretty early. I don't know what time it is. I forgot to put my watch on. But it's in the morning. I had breakfast. I'm just filling time while I drink this whiskey, but I'm going to tell you what I had for breakfast. It was nothing spectacular. Some of you might think it's gross, but I thought it was delicious because it reminds me of this meal I had in Scotland. But I had a bagel, cream cheese. That's not the part that reminds me about Scotland. And a side of baked beans. Bush's Hickory smoked baked beans. Yep. Because I had this breakfast in Scotland. It was like baked beans and giant hunks of sausage and fried eggs and blood pudding and bangers and mash and protein and protein and protein. It was so good. Oh God, it was so. I just somewhere have a picture of it. And I can just still picture this smell and all those tastes. And then I looked up what blood pudding was. Don't do that. Don't do it if you don't know what it is. Sometimes called black pudding. Don't look that up. It's fucking. But it was so good. It tasted so good. This is delicious. I gotta drink this for breakfast more often. This is fantastic. Not a lot. I'm not trying to get hammered, but boy, what a great lubricant. Sorry, just enjoying the flavor. Can you smell that? Smell it. Smell it. Oh, can you smell that? Louie, can you smell that? Look, let's just. Louie, here, have a sniff. Yeah, he doesn't like whiskey at all. See that? Oh, wait. Oh, here, Louie, try that. No, doesn't like it at all. Louie is not a fan of distilled beverages. Oh. He went over there. All right. I got one sip left. So, again, this is Day Drinking with Dave and Louie, Scottish Mountain Bear. Hope you all have a great day. Have a great weekend. Party hardy. Drink responsibly. Or at least get a designated driver. And make sure if you're not responsible, someone takes videos of you being not responsible and posts it somewhere, because that's way more fun. Y'all take care. Cheers.